have to be mean, but sometimes you just have to insert yourself.
Is this what you want the debate to be constantly, Hillary and Obama, or do you want them to start talking more about it?
I would love to talk much more about substance. I would love to talk about the effect of the national debt upon the average citizen and what it does to Fed policy and how it affects their savings accounts and their bond market and how it increases the income disparity. No one talks about that kind of stuff. And unless people really understand it, how can they make intelligent decisions? This stuff that we were talking about, a lot of it, absolutely means nothing.
All right, thank you.
Dr. Carson.
Dr. Carson, can you explain your safety plan? This morning, there's such a hefty shakeup. It's going to hurt your chances in Iowa this close to the caucus?
I don't think so. That staff member is a very good staff person. I can speak highly of him. And he didn't want the distraction to hurt the campaign.
Dr. Carson, can you explain your policy plan that you just released 2 days ago?
Which one?
The 6-point plan.
The 7 steps for protecting or for defeating ISIS and protecting ourselves in this country.
Can you explain more since you didn't have a chance to explain it during the debate?
Well, if you go to our website, you can read about it. But obviously it talks about what we have to do to defeat ISIS over there, which includes taking the land, taking their resources, and attacking them directly at their command and control center, shutting down their monetary mechanisms so that they can't pay people and recruit them, re-examining what we do with our immigration and visa programs here, establishing logical solutions for refugees, for instance in Syria. There's hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million Syrian men in the Arabian Peninsula and in the Jordanian refugee camps who could be recruited and trained as a fighting force against ISIS and also to protect the Syrian people. And, those are the kinds of things that actually make sense. And then in this country, we need to train our people what to do when they're in a terrorist situation. We need to monitor their internet. We need to put out alternative messages. We need to use offensive cyber capabilities to take down their websites and their service. We need to talk to imams and clerics and enlist their help in helping to identify radicalized elements in this country.
Dr. Carson, have you considered the fact that the pyramids may have been used to store dinosaur embryos?
No, I haven't.
Hey, look into it.
Dr. Carson.
It's like Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park.
Hey,
which one?
Right here, gray suit.
I feel like there's some merit to that.
Dr. Carson, there was a lot of Trump and Rubio and Cruz kind of dominated tonight. Do you feel like you did what you needed to do to try to stand out, or is this just not a major part of what you need to do going into Iowa?
I think I made it very clear that I'm extremely well versed in any issue that they talk about, and that there is somebody who is mature and is not going to get caught up in these peripheral things that mean nothing to the American people.
Dr. Carson, can you just talk comments? Do you typically read comments on articles?
Dr. Carson, there was mention of New York values. I mean,
What's that?
When they were talking about New York values during the debate, they made it sound like a bad thing. I mean, what does New York values mean to you? I mean,
It could mean multiple things to multiple people. Just like, Texas values or California values. I mean, what the heck does that mean?
well, I don't know. I'm asking you.
It could mean anything to anybody. I think it's irrelevant. I think it's one of those kinds of arguments that detracts from the things that are important to the American people. Why aren't we talking about, the effects of the various tax plans that have been proposed? Isn't that what a debate is supposed to be? Shouldn't we actually be talking about why, in fact, we don't have a business transfer tax or a VAT tax and what those things are so that the American people understand what it is? Shouldn't we be talking about the fair tax and what would the rate have to be in order for a fair tax to be effective and explain those things to the American people rather than talking about New York values? That would be great.
Dr. Carson, it seemed like at one point in the evening at least you had trouble hearing what the moderator was saying.
Yeah,
They asked, were there tech issues or sound issues?
Because there was applause going on when she started the question, so I couldn't hear what she was saying.
Okay. No tech problems.
And Dr. Carson, you had a question about Bill and Hillary Clinton. Do you believe the other accusers of Bill Clinton, Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Willey, etc., who repeatedly come out and said that their stories have not been heard? Do you believe them? Are you familiar with their stories?
I'm very familiar with them. Yeah. I think they're credible people, and I think it's fair game to talk about.
And Hillary's role in possibly covering up for it, or what's her role in that
I
exactly?
think it's fair to talk about the fact that she came out and attacked those women, and what does that mean in terms of her stance for women's rights.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.